Hi, and welcome to Miranda's Cauldron. That is my pen name. I'm also known as Rita H. That's who I was before I got my first channel. I guess I still am. We're streaming today for the Under 1K Marathon. I put some links in. But first of all, before we go into the links, like I said, I'm Miranda. I write young adult, urban fantasy, paranormal with witches and elementals. One series is set back in 1984, and my other series will be set in the mid 1990s. Then I have a third series that is in the future. It was supposed to be around 2025, 2030, but maybe I'm going to have to move that up a little bit considering it is now 2026. And we have a co-host, so I'll let my co-host introduce herself.
I am Stephanie. I write under the pen name Stephanie K. Dwyer. I do romance primarily. I write contemporary under Stephanie K, and then I write fantasy romance under SK Dwyer. So my YouTube is catered to both sides of those genres, so I just kind of made my name Stephanie K. Dwyer for all of it. Not currently published, but trying to get published this year. I would be going indie as long as I can finally finish my manuscript. So that is the biggest goal for this year. And you can find me here on YouTube.
I can relate to that. I'm not published either. But I finally, last October, got my first proof copy of my second series. The series name is Essence of Elements, and this is book 1 for Lear. And I have, like I said, I have 2 other ones. My other series is I have Critique Partners who's been reading through it. And I'm going to get a proof copy of that before I dive into heavy rewrites and revisions, because they've given me so much feedback, such amazing, because I wrote it when my kids were still little and their parents themselves now. So, and just having someone else look at it, if it's just getting too overwhelming, it's so helpful if you find the right people.
Yes.
So in the meantime, I'm going to go into the links. This one is the playlist. I did put down Mama Maggie's direct link to and who is next in the marathon. And here is the link for the scavenger hunt. And just a little hint, there's 2 that you will see in my stream, but I just won't tell you what it is, but I may have to move out of the way so you can see it properly. And here is Stephanie's direct link to her channel. We got a woo and I'm taking a break to draw something before I get back to editing. Oh, to be an artist, to be drawing, that is phenomenal. The closest thing I get to be an artist is I do all my maps in pencil on grid paper and my floor plans and all that. That's the closest I get to being an artist.
That's pretty impressive, though.
Well, that's it. I know when I started, I wrote my very first novel back in 1984. I won't tell you how young I was. And as the story progressed, I had the main house looking different in various chapters. And same if they're going here, going there, they always took different routes. I'm like, okay, I need a map. So when I started to write as an adult, the first thing I drew is the village map, the camp map, all the kids' houses, the diners they're going to go to, and everything on white paper. And then I eventually switched over to grid paper. And it does look better with grid paper because it's at least a little bit more symmetrical. I suppose, and it actually looks like the hallway doesn't look like a bedroom kind of deal. So it's been fun. And we have another comment from Jacqueline. Evening. I think I might call it a night. Been up since 5 this morning. It's now 8 p.m. and the brain is getting foggy. Wow. You've been. Yeah. Like I'm normally not functional mobile until like 8:30 my time. And usually by 8 p.m. it's like, nope, I'm not longer writing, editing, critiquing. I'm done. So I couldn't even imagine 5 to 8.
That is a long day.
That's for sure. And yes, Rachel is familiar with my map making. I've been streaming on this channel for it'll be 2 years. No, it'd be 3 years this October. Wow, it's been a long time.
Time goes by fast.
Yes, Sam, I agree. She needs some rest. And hello. And that is it. Gwenna is leaves the likes, and then off to do a client for client stuff. And just, I will mention again later, but I will not be doing the full 2 hours of streaming. I'm going to be leaving about 20 minutes before. So that way, then we'll have a shorter last sprint, and then you'll have a little bit of a break before the next streamer. And I'm going to pull up my timer. Oh, first of all, I have a little welcome image that I'm going to share. Hopefully this goes right. I was trying to do a video and it didn't go properly because I couldn't get it to work.
Oh, that's cute.
And there's my little welcome. And I'm going to pop up with the, guess I can stop that one and pull up my timer, which is focus of a nice little tree scene. And then we'll get back to chat in 25. See you in 25. Okay, why is during?
There it is.
Here. See you in 25. and welcome back. The joys of living in rural Saskatchewan. You think with the no or little trees it'd be better. And I'm literally, if I'm looking out my window, not this window, but a different window, if there was a window here, I would be able to see the little whatever it is that connects you to the internet. But it is also windy. But I did notice last year because I normally don't have co-host, I usually don't have any problems. But I did notice it last year whenever I had co-host and I tried to put up, I was just using like another timer from another YouTube and it would be the same thing. So, but I thought the Focus, since it's different, it would behave, but I guess it didn't. So that's okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you do?
I did some plotting down on paper. I'm kind of starting my manuscript from scratch because the beginning has changed. So I'm trying to work out like a skeleton outline of sorts. So I was able to get through, I think, 2 chapters of what's happening.
So in a way you're doing just like a rewrite altogether or just a different...
Yeah, like it's the same world and it's the same main characters, but the inciting incident has completely changed. So that's changing future things. So I just have to figure out where it's going now because it's different.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Well, I'm planning my week. The first one though, I just finished up. Like I follow the HB90 planning method with Sarah Cannon.
Yep.
And so I finished up all last week's tasks. I didn't do the reflection because I wanted to get this week set up because this is going to be a busy week for me instead of my normal 2-day stream, no kids, right from 9 to 4 after supper if I want to. So I'm working with that. And I can totally understand about rewriting with my with my which is a Solus book 1. There's just so many great ideas and suggestions and feedback that I got that I'm going to be having probably writing at least another 6 chapters. And so of course with that and with the other things that we discussed, it's going to be so different. So that's why I wanted to get a proof copy first so that I can have it before and then after. So let's pop into the chat, see who's popped in. Laura, hello. Popping in on a lunch break, still at work, about to bake some cookies with the resident seniors. And she gave a snippet of one of her books she's writing. S.A. Crow stopped in. And hellos. Let's see. We've got a word count of 215 words. Excellent. Working on Korean studying.
Nice.
Chatted and edited a chapter. The dragon battle is on.
Nice.
Takes out the upper glasses, ready for the takedown. As well as currently scheduling chapter uploads for volume 4 on Global Comics about halfway. That is amazing. A lot of people are getting a lot of work done.
Yeah.
And one of the things I like to do on my channel is tarot cards, moonology cards. But today I'm going to use the animal spirit.
Nice.
I think it's like 4 different tarot decks that I share. And I also try to do a full moon, more detail spreads as well for the full moon on my channel as well.
That's awesome. My friend
So it's
Katrina,
not just writing.
the she has like the ritual planner, I think. So she does like the daily spread for that and whatnot.
Okay, so we got the elk, which is of course earth. Let's see what it has to say. Elk. Stable, headstrong, the father. Represents the earth element in its masculine form. It provides underlying support and stability while life changes. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, high and mighty. To bring into balance, you need to eat and drink more consciously. So I guess it is you are what you eat, that phrase. Family and books popping in and liking the like button. Hello from Emma. Lots of people in for today. So, it looks like the timer has went out. Back to 25.
I don't think I ever put the short timer on, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I tend to forget to put the short timer on.
Oh, you mean for the break?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. As I thought it did say 5 minutes when we started, but
yeah. And then I just went back to focus instead of hitting the start.
Oh, okay. The Elka's calling me out. Look, cards. I already got all these marathoners calling me out about sleep. Well, it is important because sure, it's a 24-hour sprints, but everyone needs sleep. And not just has some people say, oh, I got lots of sleep last night, 4 hours. Yeah, I would so not be functioning with 4 hours sleep. I need 7 to 9 hours. But I've always been like that. And same with my daughter. She likes to sleep in, but not anymore. Oh, someone's lurking. Okay, so we're gonna start the timer again for another 25.
Sounds good.
See you later. Happy writing. And welcome back. Don't forget, you need some water, or if you need a snack, or if you need to get up and stretch. Yeah, especially for some of us who have been here since the break of dawn. Or, yeah. Yeah, I put a question into the chat about, do you plan or pants yearbook? Or is it a mixture? Rachel says, a planter. I may have goals and plot points I know I want to reach, but I let the characters and story flow. Sam also, okay, she's a pants until I get stuck. And then I plot out a few points of direction and tie the characters to that road for a while until they break free. Interesting. And Rachel's side characters take a stand for more screen time. I can relate to that. S.A. Crow wrote my first words in Korean and also a planner. I tend to, the first thing I always do is draw all my maps. And then I start with a very, very brief first 10 chapter outline, kind of like more those, just a little bit of very brief notes, like bullet points, until I'm writing, and then some of the characters want to go on their own way. Then I rewrite the outline, the points, and then just keep on doing that. And then when the first draft is done, that's when I get into revisions and edits. And even then, I have to maybe replan. Okay, I'm going to butcher this name. Alla is the planter. A lot of planning, but characters grow and things change as we go. That is so, so true. I know the book that I'm working on right now, I knew the background of a certain character. I gave him a point of view because he needed to talk to parents. And, well, he just blurted out that he was a witch, even though I didn't want him to know, the reader to know, until the kids knew. But sometimes the characters know best. They just know. And yes, I totally agree with Sam. Those pesky side characters stealing the show. Hallelujah. Okay. So Stephanie had to go pick up the child, so she'll be back. We're going to do one more 25-minute sprint and then a short cool down. So don't forget, up above, up near the top of the comments, and I'll probably just go over it again. Here is the playlist. It's also in the chat box or the description box. And Mama Maggie's next. And here is the link for the scavenger hunt. And hopefully you found my 2 objects. Let's just say every time I move, you should be able to see them you should be able to see them. Okay, so let's go back to do our 25 minutes. See you in 25. And of course, that's not going to start up again. So I'm just going to be starting a 25 on my phone and just let it go from there. So see you in 25. And that's the end of that sprint session. My husband is actually home now, so we can put in the full 20 minutes instead of just 15.
Nice.
So then that way, then we still get a little bit of a break before we hop over to Mama Maggie's. So how did everybody do? I personally am all set up for this week, and I also do a little bit extra. I plan my hours of what I want to get done and what I already have committed for. So that really helps, and then I get to compare what I wanted to get done, what I thought I could get done, but what I actually got accomplished. Like, for example, for this week, I have 22 hours available for my writing. Last week I had about the same, and I got 15 hours. So that's not too bad because I was busy doing other things as well. And sometimes life happens. Let's jump back into the comments to see what was going on. I do believe she popped in last sprint. Vixen of Fiction. And then we were talking about, do we plan or pantser books? So what about you, Stephanie?
I am a planter. I plan, but I only give myself like a little like headlight outline. I don't want to plan too much because then I feel like the creativity just kind of like bubbles out. So I plan, but very skeletonly. And then I allow my creativity to discover other things. So I'm a little bit of both.
That seems like a popular mixture I've found. Some people I do know like to write a very detailed outline. I can't. Like, I thought I was an outliner until I did a bit more research, and I'm like, yeah, no, I am not an outliner. I'm more of a discovery writer. Like, I have to have a little bit of a roadmap, and then I just get lost.
Yeah, I do a small roadmap, and like I usually know the beginning and the end, and everything in between is just discovery type. So as long as I know where I'm going, I don't care if I veer off of the beaten path, but I at least know the ending for the most part.
I know I don't. When I wrote my first book, it was actually by the time I thought I was ready for a pause and a good stop. When I looked back into it and did a word count, it was actually 2 books in one. And then when I wrote my next series, it was the same idea. So I'm like, okay, I just write 2 books. I have no idea where I'm going. It's fun. Like, it's let the characters come alive. And then I put a question if we like to listen to music or silence while writing. I'm always with music, but maybe the last year I'm back into listening to Celtic music, and I discovered Viking music.
Nice.
And when I try to write with like classic rock, which is what I usually do, I can't. It's just there's too much of a background noise that I just have to switch it off. But if I'm doing other things like planning, I can listen to whatever. But it's actually writing. It has to be like, sure, there's lyrics to some of them, and there's lyrics that I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that's always fun.
I need to listen to something. I can't be in complete silence. The only time that I'm ever in silence is when I like hyperfixated on something and I forgot to turn on music, or the music that I was listening to like petered out, like the playlist had stopped type of thing. But I generally need some sort of background music, whether it's just a playlist that I put together for that project, or even like the ambient noises. I have a whole playlist of the ambient noises on YouTube that I just go around.
Yeah, that I'm the same way. Like, I'm probably one of the last adults who actually discovered and went on YouTube, and that was because of the writing sprints. And now it's like all this music is like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Okay, now I'm kind of debating whether or not we should just stop now.
Up to you. It's your.
Yeah, I think I will, because it's 20 minutes until the next sprint. So yeah, I would say we'll just call it a sprint. Our sprint session is over. I will be back here on Wednesday at 11 Eastern with another co-host. So I will see you then. And in the meantime, I will be popping over to Mama Maggie's sprint as soon as the kids I babysit have been fed and watered, as they say. And once again, for those who don't know me, let me just turn that off. I'm Miranda. I write young adult, urban fantasy, paranormal, a little bit of high fantasy, but all my characters are mainly in their 50, like about 15 or 16. If they're not witches, they're elementals with the power over earth, air, fire, and water.
Nice.
And what about you?
I am, again, Stephanie. I am actually hosting in about an hour and 20 minutes. So 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern for this. And I think Sako was supposed to be one of the co-hosts, but I think it's just going to be Devin tonight.
Oh, okay. So Mama Maggie is just doing a break then.
I think hers is just an hour, and then it's and then it's mine. And then I'm co-hosting on Wednesday, I believe. Let me see. Let me double check. Yes, I'm actually co-hosting from 2 to 3 Eastern Time with S.A. Crow, who I think is in the chat. Yep. And then I'll be back again hosting a break on Friday evening.
Excellent. Okay. So don't forget, if you're participating in the under 1K marathon, hit the like button and to subscribe to some new sprinters and fellow writers. Bye for now.
Bye.